Alright, today's tech tip is for if you use Google Forms and Kahoot. If you're using Google Forms for check-ins, for quizzes, all that kind of fun stuff, and you like to use Kahoot for review for kids, then this is one way that you can go ahead and import those questions that you already have in Google Forms and put them into your Kahoot games. It should be noted that Kahoot is obviously more of a multiple choice type game, so it really works if you have questions that are multiple choice, or checkbox answers, or true false, not so much for short answers. So I'm taking this knowledge check internet etiquette form that we've used in advisory. I'm just going to show you how I would make this into a Kahoot. So the first step is going to be this really easy, tedious step that you can do while you're watching TV. Switch it to preview mode, and we're going to take this over and over. Our goal is that we're going to populate that response spreadsheet with all of our options. So the first thing I'm going to do, the first time I take this, I'm just going to click the first option on all of the questions and then hit submit. That's it. Kind of mindless. The second time I take it, I'm going to click the second answer on all of them. The third time I take it, I'm going to submit the third option on all of them. Notice on this last question, I've got two. Because this is a required question, in order to submit it, I'm going to go ahead and click false again. If it's not required, you can just skip it. And finally, my longest question has 4 options, so I have to take this a 4th time. Same idea, even though I've already collected this response, I have to do it because they're required questions. They've got that asterisk. Then I'm going to hit submit. So at this point, I have selected every answer at least once, which means my spreadsheet is going to have all of the options. So I'm going to exit out of that preview. I'm back into my form. I'm going to click on those responses. Notice it has 4 responses. And we're going to click on that create spreadsheet option and create a new spreadsheet. So from here, we can see obviously I didn't do so hot, random stuff. I'm going to look at this and you can see that I've got my timestamp, email address, the score, and then each question has the corresponding options right below it. So notice there's my repeater. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Here's a repeater, and then these last 2 are both repeaters. So now if I'm looking at this, again, you can always highlight it if it makes it easier. Change it to wrapping, make it middle, so that you can really see, here's the question. These are the 3 options that I had on that Google form. Question, options, question, options, question, options, question, options. Once we've got that and it looks good, we're going to do the super smart part that makes you feel cool about spreadsheets. Hit this plus button to add a new tab to that sheet. And over here, we're going to type equals transpose and open parentheses. So transpose is going to switch the columns and the rows. So all I'm going to do is flip back over to that first tab for my form responses, and I need to highlight the question all the way through all of my answers. So even though these are blank, right, I need to make sure I capture this final response, so I'm getting all of it, and then I just hit enter, and now you can see, we can make this look prettier, right, so I click on this button in the top left. If you click that one, it selects the entire sheet, and we can make it wrap and middle, so we can see now it goes question. All of my questions are over here in this first column, and then the corresponding responses are in the rows instead. Let me show you why we're doing that. We're going to go over to Kahoot. In Kahoot, you can click create, and we're going to create a new Kahoot. And over here in the bottom left, we have this option to import spreadsheet. I would suggest going ahead and downloading the template every time just so you have it exactly how it's supposed to be, and we can go ahead and open that template. This template makes sure that it is pulling everything exactly how it's supposed to be so that Kahoot can read those cells from the spreadsheet and put it into the correct format for your Kahoot. So now that it's popped up on our Excel sheet, you can see that the format they wanted in is all the questions in one row, and then the answers, and then we're going to go from there. So the easiest way to do this is to come back over to your spreadsheet, And we're going to copy all of this. And right here, we're going to highlight all this and we're going to Control-V, paste. So now you can see I've pasted it. All of my questions are in the correct spot. My answers are in the right spot. I'm going to make this full screen so we can see it. So everything is correct. Now I just have to finish filling these out. So I've got time limit. I have to tell the spreadsheet how long I want to give students to actually give this or select their answer when they're playing the Kahoot. So I'm going to say 20 seconds. Fun little trick: if you don't want to type that over and over, especially if you have a lot more questions, you can click this bottom square right here and just drag it, and it will automatically take that whatever you've put here and paste it, copy and paste it into all of these rows that you've dragged it through. And then finally we have to pick our correct answer so that Kahoot knows which one is actually correct. So we're going to go through these real quick and pick the correct answer. Notice that question number 4 was a checkbox answer in our form, so all 3 of those options are correct. So you can just separate those with a comma. So here we have our template. We've put all of our responses into it in the correct format. We have our time limit. We have our correct answers. Now we just need to file save. It has to be an XLXS format, which the template is already in that format, so we should be good to go. I'm going to show you, I'm doing this wrong intentionally. There's one thing that I've run into a couple times when doing this, and I want to show you how to fix it. So we're going to select the file. There it is from our most recent. I click today, and there it is, upload. And it's reading through the questions, making sure that it's in the correct format, making sure that it's the correct file type. And the problem that's going to pop up is that my questions are too long or my answers are too long. So here we go. It says question 1, the answers are too long. Question 4, question is a little too long, and that answer number 3 is too long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pop those back open. So I need question 1, answers 1 and 2. So I'll go to question 1, answers 1 and 2, and I can just edit these real quick just to shorten them a bit. Even on this last one, on number 4, it has had the words check all that apply, which is not an option on Kahoot, so it makes sense to go ahead and take that off anyways. You have to hit save. If you don't hit save, you did nothing as far as when we go back to import. So instead of hitting continue, if you hit continue, then it's going to actually pull the questions other than these ones in, and then you're having to import individual questions. So instead, hit back and select the file again. It's been resaved. Notice it's different. Click upload. Okay, so now it says 5 questions have been imported. We can click add questions, and here they are. Scroll up to the top. You'll notice the first one is blank. I'm not sure why they do that. In this case, you can just delete it because it's a blank one that has nothing. But you can go through here and look, we've got our question and each of our answers, and the correct one is selected. In this case, all 3 of them are selected. Once you're done, you now have this Kahoot. It's ready to play. You can test it, play it now, share it with others, or go back to editing. And that is how you can create a Kahoot from your already created form. Still a little bit of work, but at least you're not retyping all of your questions and answers over and over.